Okay, guys, that's 8 o'clock. Good to see so many people that actually decided they're going to spend some more time with us. And yeah, we're fortunate to have Brendan back with us. Really appreciate it, Brendan. I think I'm going to open the floor. Anybody that would like to talk to about something specifically. I mean, we've got Philip back here, so if it's anything to do with social media, Philip will help and assist us with that. And the rest of us is going to, yeah, we're going to do our best to help and assist you. So if you have a question, you can actually, there's a little reaction button at the bottom. If you click that, you can either have a little thumbs up or little hand. So if you use that button and you opt for one of those, it will appear against your picture, and then we can unmute you and we can chat about it. So Brendan, I don't know if you just want to take like the next 2 minutes and yeah, maybe just something from your side. I'm going to unmute you. Okay, Brendan.
Not really. I was interested in hearing what the questions are, helping with answering the questions if you have any. I think I've spent the whole week talking to people live, so I'm kind of exhausted myself. But let me know anything, guys, on any topic. We're here to help, and this is an opportunity. What we want is you guys flat out for the next 4 weeks. And we got, well, let's call it 3 weeks of lockdown left. Let's be flat out. So let's not have anything holding us back.
Okay, so the floor is open. Anybody with a question, anybody that needs advice, etc., go for it. All quiet on the Western Front. Okay, there at the top. Niels, I'm going to unmute you, and then the floor is yours. Okay, Niels, over to you.
Hi, evening, everyone.
Hi, Niels.
Okay, my question is, especially when Philip talked about how he approaches the people. I also prospect every day, and even the last with this lockdown, I actually prospecting 50 plus people every day, and I follow up every day as well. But my question is, I get more or less people that want to know more what's going on. You send them the video, you explain to them what to do, and then it's okay, now they're very interested. What do they have to do next? So then I send him the list of the products that they have to choose from, pick from. I explain to them where to go to the website and how to join it and have a look at the products. And then they come back and say, okay, now then I even tell them this is how you join, the steps that you need to follow. But then I don't come back at all. And I've used Facebook also a lot to prospect people there. But I found that most people on Facebook, they're not actually there to make money. If they don't reach out to you, then they're not open for it. So what I've done actually in the last week, I've actually focused more on the real estate guys, and I must say they're much open to understanding the way to go, understanding the thing about home-based business, and understanding that you need to prospect people and to approach people. But my question is that last bit, you've explained to them, they understand what they need to do. How do you get them to the final step just to say, okay, yes, I'm joining? Because it's where everyone, it's like that's a hurdle. There's a wall there. They don't want to overstep. And I believe you can't force them. You can't, they have to decide themselves to say, okay, yes, I want it, I'll do it. Like I had a guy, I had placed an advert on Facebook. He approached me, and within a day or two, he joined. No problem, not easy. So that's what I'm going out now, is that if the guy doesn't want to, I send him everything. If he doesn't commit, I carry on. Like Brandon says, you just carry on and you follow, go to the next guy. Because you can't wait for him to keep on asking him, have you decided? Or I had one guy, he says he doesn't have data. I don't even go back to him. I carry on, because if you don't have data, then I know you won't succeed at all.
Yes, Niels, sorry, I had to cut you short there. Yeah, I think I'm going to hand it over to Philip, because you see, the follow-up isn't really once they've responded and you send them the information. That's not really the follow-up. That's part of the process of giving them the information so that they can make an informed decision. The follow-up is where you go back to them and you say, well, I've sent you the information. You had a look at all the information, you processed it. Now tell me where I am with you. Are you with me, or are you have you disqualified yourself? But I'm going to hand over to Philip. Philip, I'm going to unmute you, and yeah, then Philip, if you can respond to that. I'm trying to unmute you, Philip, for some reason. You don't want to be unmuted. Philip, can you unmute yourself? There you go. Okay, Philip.
Am I not on mute anymore? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Philip. Go for it.
Okay. Thanks, Niels. Niels, from what I gathered, you actually answered your own question a bit. What I do is I as soon as somebody responds or asks me for information, I send them one set of information. To send information and then wait for them to respond, and then more information, and then more than a one-step process is just too much. I deal with too many people to be able to do that. It'll be chaotic. Okay, so once I send them information, my follow-up cycles are 48 to 72 hours afterwards, after the first bit of information that I sent them. So what I send them is a little bit of an introduction, an abbreviated version of very quickly 6 points. This is what it's about. This is what you need to do. This is what it, and then I've got now 2 videos, because Brendan's got this habit of whenever I do a good video, then he comes out with a better one, and then I've got to go back and flip and change it again. So 2 days ago, he had a very, very nice short intro one of 2 and a bit minutes that says, okay, I'm the founder of, and I've included that one now after the info, and then the 10-minute one that was made. Those are 2 brilliant ones. And then I say there, okay, then if you really want to dig into detail, because you do get those analytical people, then I've got a lot more information right at the bottom. But the first bit is just enough for them to, enough info if you want to make a decision. It very clearly says there, if you want to find out about the products, go have a look on the website. So that's what I do. Then my follow-up is, I'm just going to go out of the screen here, and I want to read what I say to them. It's very, very straight to the point. So between 48 and 72 hours, I go back and I'll say, hi, I'm following up to you in connection with the DuPont system. People are joining in their droves as they realize, and in brackets, now more than ever, the importance of having a plan B regarding their finances. Are you ready to get started? That's it. End of story. If I don't get a response, then I follow up again in 3 weeks' time, and then 2 months, and then whatever after that. Okay, so that's what I try to do, the call-ups with the follow-up cycle. Then if the person expresses an interest and says, yes, I want to join, then like I said in the first presentation earlier, I've got a very, very definite process that is it's all about a call to action. Because you talk about people that say they want to join and they don't. When somebody says I want to join, I've got a book that I write their name in, so I spend a lot of I get quite aggressive about follow-up then and spend my energy on it. I went and counted the other day. I've got 178 names in that book of people that said they would like to join, and they never did. Okay, so if I add that to the total that I'm on at the moment, tonight I did, just before this meeting, I did my 370th person. So I had another 170, that 545 that I would have been on in a year. But I'm not, I'm on 370 because of these oaks that, and what happened was I would spend a tremendous amount of time following up, going back 2-3 days later, and then it would be, oh no, tomorrow at work, oh no, tonight, and eventually that's when I started the whole, the form to pre-qualify them and to say to them, okay, listen, understand that if you say you're going to join, I'm going to send you the joining procedure. You have, and the guy must confirm. You must actually say, yes, I understand. You have 1 hour to join. You shouldn't take longer than 15 minutes. You have 1 hour to join. If that hour, that's 60 minutes. Okay, after 20 minutes, I'll go back and I'll say, how's it going? Are you winning? Do you know any questions? And normally there, you'll pick up that the person either says, yes, yes, just had a little bit of a crisis, or I'm getting there. But, or they won't respond, then you know it's one of those tire kickers. But if that person goes over 1 minute after that, 60 minutes, I send, and then I say, sorry, you have now disqualified yourself from this process. Thank you very much. And then very, very importantly, well, as Brendan says and Rob always says, I just move on to the next person. I've got tons and tons and tons of people that are waiting in the wings. In fact, if I do get, there's also another because I believe in using FOMO, fear of missing out. And I very quickly say to somebody, listen, please stop dithering and wasting my time. I've got to, and I tell a white lie. I say, look, I'm going to have to take you off this list. I've got 7 or 8 people that are standing waiting behind you to join. And I'm being unfair to them, but you're holding up this process. And they very quickly go, oh, no, okay, sorry. I make it very clear, look, in Afrikaans, I say, ek is nie verleë oor jou nie. So in other words, I make it very, very clear that, look, I don't need you. I'm not going to run out and jump off a building if you don't join. I'm just going to move on to the next person. So make up your mind. Yes, are you in or aren't you? And if the person, then I just say, okay, bye, cheers, and I carry on. So yeah. I'm pretty aggressive and ruthless about making people, you know, just decide. Really, it's not we're not talking about you know, brain surgery here. It's a very simple decision. Say yes or no. I don't mind if you say no, but just make a bloody decision so I can move on to the next person. That's it. Thanks, Rolof.
Hi, me again. Okay, another question, Philip. I've heard that you do Facebook adverts and you get like 800 replies or guys that ask you what to do. So can you explain to me how you do it? Because I just need to know where I need to change mine. Because I've seen what guys do. If you talk about any extra income or you can make money or whatever, they don't reply at all. So if I do advert, I don't even mention extra money or it's extra income. I just say it's a home-based business, and that's when people start to ask you, okay, can you explain to me what you do? And that's how you get people to come to you and ask you what you're doing. So how do you do your adverts?
Rolof, you're actually muted at the moment. None of us can hear you.
Okay, there I'm back. Anybody hear me? Okay, Niels, sorry to chip in there, but have you watched the development seminar on building online? That was done by Rob, because that basically has taken Philip's system, and I mean that there was collaboration between Philip and Rob before they actually put the whole thing together. So when you listen to that, then you will know exactly the way that Philip handles the whole Facebook thing. It's not really throwing ads out there. It's a target market. There are specifics regarding the ad. What is it that you put in there that you don't put in there? So Niels, a recommendation from my side. I've already watched it twice, and I think it's one of the best development seminars when it comes to social media. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Niels, I highly recommend go and watch that. I think that's going to answer a lot of the questions that you currently have. Anybody else with questions? If you can just use the little reaction button at the bottom, that's going to put up a little hand, and we're going to spend some time with you. Pardon?
Graham.
Graham, I'm trying to find you on the, there you go. Graham, I'm going to unmute you. Okay, Graham, over to you.
Thanks, Rolof. Question for Brendan. The Achiever Quest is to sign 10 people and they must pay in the same month. What is the thinking or the rationale that they must pay in the same month and not on the first of the month coming up?
It's really an administrative issue as well as a fraud issue. Just looking back, we ran what we used to call Wealth Quest, monthly Wealth Quest, for a couple of years. We learned a whole lot of things during that process. We learned how guys manipulated the system, mainly during that, and how much administration it took us to work out who was doing what and how they were manipulating the system and all sorts of things like that. And we found that if we just made it just dead clear, make your payments in the calendar month that the people have signed up in, then we got the clearest result for everyone. We got fast movement from people at the beginning of each month, because one of the things that we found is people were leaving it to the last minute. Now we get people working faster in the beginning of the month, and there's no argument afterwards, which was always the case. It was always an argument about who was paid in time within the grace period, and how come the guy paid on the 26th and now he's outside his grace period, so he can't be in it. Just kills it all. It just says, put it in, put them in, and get them paid by the end of the calendar month. Nice, clear cut. Everybody understands it. Very difficult to manipulate, very easy to administer, and very easy to understand. Just a couple of years of experience drove us to that point.
Okay, thanks. And then the debit order can then be moved to the first thereafter.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can, again, you have to be a little bit careful. So if you put a debit order on the 31st of the 1st, you know it's going to run on both days because it's looking for both months.
Yeah.
But what you can do is talk to the ladies at client service. They'll assist you in adjusting that. Okay. So you would have to maybe do it to kind of phase it in. So it would be like the 31st for the first debit order, maybe the 15th for the second order debit order. So there was a payment in that month, and then move it to the 1st of the 3rd month so that you kind of phase it in like that. But, you know, alternatively, aim to have your targeted number of people in by, say, the 15th, and then you've got 2 weeks left after that to pick up the slack, you know, and then everybody else, you try and use a bit of strategy about where you put them in after that.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, Graham, I'm going to mute you now. Okay, Ricky, you've got a hand up there, so I'm going to unmute you. Ricky, over to you.
Hi guys.
Hi, Ricky.
Finally, I got the right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi there. Finally, I pushed the right button. I can hear.
Okay, great.
I just want clarity on I mean, I watched Rob's online business, and it's amazing. But I need clarity on what exactly. If you're in a public group, you're not allowed to mention Dewpoint. But if you're in a private group, you are. But there's so many. I need clarity on that. That's something I don't understand. Can somebody help me? What are the real? Rob says, from what I can remember, you're not allowed to use Dewpoint's name in the public domain. But if you're on a private group or on your own personal Facebook, can you use Dewpoint's name?
Yeah. All right. So what we're trying to avoid, there's a lot of legislation around this. So this is a legislative issue. We are, since the new regulation that's come out in the last, say, 3 years, maybe 4 years now, it was amendments to the original Phase Act. They said, you as the insurance company, you're absolutely responsible for every single use of your name and material. And we went back to the regulator and went, but that's impossible. We can't do that social media. And they said, we don't care. It's your problem. And so we have this crisis where if anybody mentions our name, nothing might happen, but something might happen. We don't know what the regulator will do. So what we've done at Dewpoint, we've been quite hard and fast because of how many people are involved in our business that are outside our office. In this case, we've said, whenever you get yourself into a public forum, so you guys join lots of groups. Philip often talks about joining 200, 300, 400 groups that are on Facebook. Don't use our name, our product names, our materials, our whatever. Why? Because the regulator could come back to me and say, so-and-so used your name in this forum and said the following. And we'd have no idea. But obviously, you guys will set up your own little groups. So you've got your channel, you've got your first, second, third, and fourth and fifth pointers in your channel. Obviously, there you can be talking about Dewpoint. You know, Ricky's Dewpoint channel group. That's all fine. But the moment you're in a public forum, one that's not specifically yours, then you can't use our names and our brands. The same thing is you can't go onto Facebook and set up the Dewpoint Gauteng page, because you're not Dewpoint Gauteng. You also can't put in Ricky's Dewpoint Gauteng page. That's also not true. But what you could do is you could have Ricky's channel, and in there you could post the stuff that we've made public. So what's in our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, you could then pull across and put into your page. Okay, so it is a little bit difficult to understand, and I apologize around that. We're dealing with regulation when the regulator's gone, we're not going to give you clear rules, we'll just tell you when you go wrong. You know, the flipping nightmare. And we have to therefore be quite hard and fast around it. where you can, try not to use DewPoint in a public forum where something is not very specifically designed for DewPoint. If it is very specifically designed for DewPoint, go crazy.
Excellent.
I don't know if that helped.
Ricky, and I
Thank
think when in doubt, you know, you can always phone and ask somebody for advice.
Yeah.
Start with the people in the call center. They will tell you that's a no-go or whatever. So yeah, you can run it past us. We'll give you some feedback as well.
Cool.
Excellent. Thanks, Ricky.
And sorry, Charles is just saying that you see lots of people using the word DewPoint. Absolutely. I have a full-time lawyer taking Facebook pages down, websites down, WhatsApp groups down, Instagram and LinkedIn accounts down. And since we've launched, we've taken down just under 300 pages. So look, as I said, it's a social media nightmare for us. We spend lots of money trying to control it. So Charles, don't worry about what other people are doing. Only worry about what you do.
Absolutely. Okay, Tabo, I'm gonna unmute you. Okay, Tabo, over to you.
How are you? Hi, everyone.
Hi, Tabo.
I'm one of the new wealth engineers. I joined DewPoint in December, and I just lost my job in January. And when I lost my job, I also lost my father within the process.
I'm sorry to hear that, Tabo.
So I was just under a lot of depression.
Tabo, just turn off your video for us. If you turn your video off, your voice will clear. We can't hear you at the moment.
Unfortunately, I didn't have any means to carry on.
Tabo, just turn off your video and we will just listen to the audio. We don't need the video. Just turn off the video and we'll listen to the audio. Okay. Okay, Tabo, over to you.
Is that okay?
That's better.
Apologies.
Not a problem.
All right. I'm one of the wealth engineers who joined DewPoint in December, and I lost my job in Jan. And along the process, I also lost my father. I was under a lot of stress, and depression as well took its toll, but I'm also now meant to carry on within the debit orders and on my portfolio, but I fell within the lines. So what I'm asking Brandon is that I also couldn't pay my last debit order for Feb. I see it bounced, and the most recent one also bounced. So I wanted to find out, how do I go along starting all over again? And I also need to work out on my
So we keep losing you, but I think what you've asked is how you reinstate, how you get started again. If you've missed 2 payments, the system would have lapsed you out. It's just going to be dropping an email to the client service team and tell them you'd like to reinstate. They'll get you going again. Pick a better debit order date, maybe that works for you better, and they'll sort it out and set you up for that. And then you've got every reason in the world to really get cracking fast. Get the people in quickly so that you can be earning quickly and replacing your income as fast as possible. You got to unmute, Roelof.
Okay, Abram de Wet, I'm going to unmute you. Okay.
one of my first prospects that said they've got a question for me, and I didn't really know how to answer it, so I thought of putting it into the meeting tonight. Basically, it was to the sustainability of the whole system. His feeling is that he doesn't want to get involved in a business if it's not sustainable, and therefore he is now set up a spreadsheet and everything, and is doing, according to him, he's doing a few sums on that to say, if you go 30, 50, 70 levels deep, how sustainable is the amount that you stretch for all those levels? And so his real problem is because he's going as deep as it can, and there's no limit to it, that it's not sustainable, and therefore he doesn't really want to get involved with the business. Basically what he's asking is how much of the new people's, because he says it's run on new people's intake, so how much of the new people's premiums are in paying for the upline that is 60 or 50 or 60 levels.
Yeah.
That was his question.
I understand it, Abraham. I've had that question, not often, oddly enough, not as often as I thought I would, but I have had that question a couple of times over the years. Can I tell you, Abraham, that even when I've explained the exact mathematics to these individuals, they've still said no. So the short answer is the guy's trying to get out of it. That's fine. Let him go. Cut him loose. Let him go. The long answer, for your edification, not for his, is the fact that we have a very structured set of calculations with regard to returns and rewards. So you know that we will cover you to any level, but your task is to get the equal number of qualified wealth engineers on your first point. Now, to get 100 qualified wealth engineers on your first point is not going to take you 5 minutes. Your channel would be very large if you had 100 qualified wealth engineers on your first point, and that would easily sustain the fact that I would be paying only you, because you'd be the only person with 100 points open in your channel. Everybody else in your channel might have 3 points or 10 points or 15 points or 1 point or no points open. And so, I mean, it's called a fractal calculus that works all of this out. I had a bunch of actuaries do it for me, and I was involved in the maths too around it. But what we would know already, given the fact that we're already 4 years old, is that there was a hole in the mathematics. And can I tell you that we've been very happy with the mathematics. In fact, I think the mathematics are incredibly sound. And I'm happy to show people the mathematics. In fact, I do a bit of it when I do the universal constant, which is fundamentally the basis for our mathematics, which is 35 people are going to take a product and pay for it. Those 35 people pay your returns and rewards. They do. But there's only 5 people out of the 35 that I have to pay returns and rewards to. Not for any reason other than the fact that only 5 people are going to do the work. That's not my fault. That's just human nature. And that's the simple mathematics behind it. But we then get into the whole fractal calculation to calculate it. So far, we've been happy with it. But Abraham, even if I explained it to your prospect, he would still say no. Move on. Cut him loose.
Oh, fantastic, guys! We're getting to the end of the meeting. The neighbors came up; they're going to cut us off. So yeah, we really appreciate your participation, and it's brilliant to see 8 o'clock on a Friday night, 43 people chatting and building a business, serious about their future. Have a blessed Easter, and yeah, just keep at it. And yeah, looking forward to a brilliant future. Appreciate it. Have a good one.